Hello, Booster lover. Welcome to another episode of Booster for Today. I'm your host for today, Unyema Emanuela, and I'm here presenting a topic on the expectations we get from families and friends in lives and ways on how to manage these expectations. I mean, they can come in different ways. We all have expectations, right? I mean, I'm sure you, the viewer at home, is expecting something from us today. So,
obviously,
let's see what we have for you guys. So, with me on set today is
Dr. Kaka Kelgene Stephanie.
and also,
Scientist Kennedy Anekwe.
and they'll be dropping some knowledge bombs on these expectations and how to manage them. So first off, I would like it for you to give us your view on expectations. How do you explain or define expectations?
Well, generally speaking, I think expectations are kind of like unspoken beliefs, unspoken things that people just feel are supposed to be, unspoken ways people just believe things are supposed to be. And the fact that it's unspoken already seems like a
that's
problem.
the tricky part,
That's
right?
a tricky part, yes.
Okay.
So
That makes
expectations
it.
can come in good and bad formats. That's how I see it. So
And the
some
problem is that you don't even know what
when
it is.
it's there.
Okay. So talking about expectations, talking about families, friends. So let's talk about expectations from families. Okay, coming to you, Scientist Kennedy. You are as a student in school. Let's say you go back home for break. You're coming from a traditional family. That's an instance, but not really like traditional like all background. I'm talking about a family that yes, you guys go to church and all that, but then it's not so intentional. But then you come to school and you go to a Catholic school and then you get interested in these things and you eventually become an alternate. And then you go back home only for your dad to tell you, okay, this August we are going for this festival, and you are going to carry masquerade. And I mean, what would be your reaction to something like that?
What would be my reaction to that kind of a scenario?
Yeah, please share with us.
Now, we learn every day and we are still learning. So obviously, because I have entered into a school of thoughts and I have learned so many things, I have the right to actually tell my dad or whoever it may be that I've actually checked this thing from this perspective. How good is this thing? How okay is this thing? Or is it just what you do out of form? Now, remember, it is your life. It's not theirs. It's actually your life. Now, and a philosopher said that there are mistakes you can do and it could be forgotten, but there are mistakes you can do that can never be forgotten. Now, for me, actually, masquerade is not a bad thing. I know of priests that do their 25th anniversary and even call masquerade to come and play for them. But the thing is, what kind of masquerade are you doing? Okay. So I am a masquerade watcher in the village. Hey, every Christmas we are anticipating. Let's go and watch masquerade. In fact, 31st December and 1st January is always the more and the Igbo culture. Obviously. And now you will be going for good ones because you are just going to go and run because they are just coming with cane.
Okay, I think I understand what you're saying.
But now there are some masquerades that are very demonic.
Okay.
Like if you go, you hear where they will tell you that there are some masquerades that will put pins in you. All this kind of tradition that they will say.
I think this is what I'm talking about. Maybe something that you can agree that it doesn't align with, let's say, your faith, your belief, something in that aspect. I'm not talking about something that you see at school. Yes. So when they present something like that to you, okay, because it's family, this is something we do, or let's say it's something you were doing before.
Yes.
You used to do it before. But now you have seen a light, I would like to say the light, or you've seen a light, and now your views does not align to theirs. You feel like, okay, no, I shouldn't be doing this. Let's say in that instance, how do you tell an African father? You said something, this is my life. You're African. It's not your life. He gave that life to you. So you cannot tell your father, this is my life. Can you?
Now, Please wait. Okay.
Yeah, wait.
It's very, very funny because we all know that in African families there are things that you cannot say, but
Okay.
those things that you cannot say are within a specific period of time. My age now, there are things I can actually say, and nothing would happen.
That's setting your boundaries. Right?
Yes, I could actually come up with a decision that I would do, and nothing will happen. But the truth is, which manner of approach did you use to put it out?
That's important.
Some people lack manner of approach.
Okay.
Now I can actually call you stupid, but at the same time you're stupid. Now there are two different things, but actually
Excuse you.
wait.
And because you
No.
said it orally stupid, it's still an insult.
What I mean is, now the way you might react to you are stupid is not the same way you might react to it. You are stupid. You might actually feel that that's stupid. I mean now that I am playing, but in my heart, I know that I am serious.
Your tone, your sound.
Now your
okay.
tone can change things.
I think I
so
understand
from what
what
you're
you're
saying
saying.
now, you're trying to give the audience out there or our viewer that a way to manage these expectations we're getting from our family members could be our manner of approach.
Yes.
Am I following you?
Yes, it could
So-
be a part.
Okay.
I think that
Yes.
makes sense.
Okay.
So that's trying to like reason with them.
Obviously.
Because I know that if there might be if you now try to like go all stubborn, like maybe you insist, oh my daddy, I'm not going anywhere. It can cause a problem in the house. Before you know, your daddy is not answering your greeting, your mom is angry with you.
But I
Yes,
think to add to what you're even saying, I feel like you also have to have some level of insight about the kind of people your parents are, or in this case, your family members are, the people that have these expectations. If you know the kind of reactions they are most likely to give, it guides you on the manner of approach
To use.
in like debunking their expectations.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
because today made it that way doesn't mean I'll do it today. You know, there's some mothers that are going on that tone, they will don't understand. But there are mothers that when you say that they'll react to you like, guy.
They tell you,
No.
okay, you want to, but can't you see that Tobe is doing well?
But
so
Tobe
don't
not
you
your
want
friend?
to be there?
Yes,
So you
yes.
get
So
this kind of
it's
thing.
an
So-
issue, and I don't think it's an easy one. So
Yeah.
that's good. Okay, so that's coming from family. So now let's go to friends. Dr. Stephanie. Okay, so you spent your years in medical school, and to the glorious grace of God, you are done. Congratulations.
Thank you
again.
very much.
I haven't
Yeah.
said so now let's say, okay, so you're done with school, and as a medical student, I don't think you really have all the time for the nightlife, having fun, and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay, so now you're done with school, or maybe even before you were done, you go for break after months of reading, preparing for MB, all that. I know it's quite a lot, and then you have friends that, well, they are from other schools, other departments, they have more time than you do. So they want to party like every night, they want to turn up every Friday, like TGIF, that kind of thing. But you just want to sleep because you've been staying awake for months reading, right?
True.
Now I'm out, can I just sleep? But because they call you today, let's go to a party, and you're like, I don't feel like it. They call you tomorrow, you still turn down. They tell you they want to maybe drink, they want to, but you don't feel like it, and you say no.
Yep.
Maybe you're saying these things now there are different reasons why you might say it. It might be because it's against your faith. It might be just principles. I don't
boundaries.
want to, okay, just against your morals. But then because of that, the next thing you hear is, like they do as if now you holy pass, so now you want to they want it too much. This kind of things cause problems. So how do you handle this? Because I don't know. I mean, they're your friends,
True.
so
Okay, they are my friends. The first thing I'll actually say is they are my friends. They are my friends.
I don't understand. This is sarcasm.
No, okay, let me be serious. Well,
Okay.
the question is, are they really your friends? Will you really consider these people your friends? If their way of doing things don't align with your way of doing things, will you really call them friends? In quotes. But that's on one side. Also, speaking about expectations, from the example you're giving, you can see that the atmosphere of this friendship is creating these unspoken expectations that they expect you to deliver. Like, guy, I've not seen you for months. Now you're finally going to come on. Let's party.
Yeah,
Let's do things
turn
like
up,
old time. And they may not really get that, the space where you are now at life things don't
You're not
really
there
look the way
anymore.
they were anymore. And like you said, it will cause a problem. There's this 3-letter word I usually tell people, and I say like these are the basics for why we have problems in society. Like I feel like this is it, because I feel like problems come from misunderstanding each other and miscommunicating with each other. Maybe at that moment someone is just not telling it how they should have, and someone is not in the mood to actually understand. And I feel like all this stems back from 3 words. I like to call it ACE: assumptions, conclusions, and expectations. So this was the first thing that drew my mind when I was like coming to the post. I was like, okay, we're going to talk about ACE today. So
Please, sorry, come again. I like the sound of that.
it's called ACE.
Okay, that's
Assumption,
ACE.
conclusions, and expectations. The truth is that I personally don't like to expect much from friends. I don't want to talk about family, that's dicey. But like, I personally don't try to live my life not expecting much from friends. I don't know, some people have come at me that that's not really nice. How will you say you're my friend and you don't expect me, or I should not expect you? I'm like, guy, when you start expecting, you're setting yourself up
And
for
it's
disappointment.
disappointment,
Like,
exactly,
you're just like
yes,
preparing
yes.
yourself for something you won't like be feeling about. So I feel like, yes, these expectations are just the reasons that will cause the problems, good and fine. But if you have some level of boundaries and all, it helps you in managing these expectations. They say that's why I was happy when he said something about insight and manner of approach in how you meet. So if these my friends come and tell me, oh, life of the party and everything, if they are my friends and they understand that kind of person, I'm sorry, I just have to hint it, because friends is not to me, it's not a light word. That's something that we of our generation have taken for granted. Everybody is your friend, really. Everybody is your friend. No comments. I don't want to go further into that. But
I understand.
you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
So going further into it, the ACE, I feel like the basics of most misunderstandings and problems we have in society is that someone assumed without getting evidence that this is how it is. You just saw, for example, you just saw this guy driving a new car. You don't know how he got it. You just assumed that they probably did this together. No one told you that. You just assumed that. And then you've concluded without any evidence. Or you expect, like I said, expectations are unspoken. I'm sitting down here, you're my friend, I'm not smiling, and I just sit down here expecting that you will come forward and find out why I'm not smiling. But do you know if me, myself, I'm going through my own level of problems? I don't know if you see how the whole
I
expectation
feel like saying, if you want to talk to me, talk to me. Don't go through the corners, because I feel short. Like, am I bleeding?
that was not my intention.
No,
That was
because
not
I'm
my
guilty
intention.
as charged.
But I feel like if people took more time to
Communicate, right?
communicate right and try sometimes to understand where people are coming
Exactly,
from, because sometimes we get so self-absorbed about our
I've
issues
seen
that,
something like that. It doesn't end at communication, but you have to understand.
yes,
too.
very important. So
Okay.
it's a push and pull as you're communicating.
You have to
also
understand. So communication really helps.
yes, it
Talking
really
to these friends and telling them why this thing
Yes,
is like this,
yes.
and you as a friend, you understand. That's
yes,
the thing.
yes.
Okay, I think I like that that outlook of things. I think I like the whole insight. It makes a lot of sense. Your ACE, you talked about ACE, assumptions, conclusions, and expectations. Yes, because when people assume things and then they conclude in their head, the next thing they're expecting you to act the way it's playing out in their head. That's a big problem.
And that's like
Very.
a very high road to follow.
It's not easy. Like, I
like a
can't read
script
your
whenever
mind. And it causes a lot of confusions
Problems.
in our relationships,
Yeah.
both with families and with friends.
Friends.
Because I mean, like in your case now, okay, sorry, the question I asked and how you talked about it, there's I guess there are some other ways you handle it, and before you know, friendships are ending.
Yes.
It's true. You said something about if they are truly your
Yeah.
friends. I don't know. I think in that light, I don't know. I know sometimes we have friends that, well, everything, all our principles might not totally align.
Yeah.
But I think another thing that comes up is having, something like, it's good to have friends that understand your perspectives in life, like understand where you're coming from, understand and agree with your view. Yes, there is room for a little disagreement, but at least respect my opinions, right?
True.
I don't want to do this. It doesn't mean I hate you for doing it, but I say I don't want to do it. It shouldn't
takes
be
a
a
high level of
problem.
understanding.
I think that's what we need. So sometimes they can actually be your friends.
Yeah.
But it's
True.
just that I guess they just don't have that level of understanding yet. They feel
And
like
manner.
they're feeling left out. They feel you don't want to, roll with them. And I guess that's where communication comes in, right?
Comes in.
Talking to them and letting them know.
Even in that kind of situation, you can actually align yourself. According to St. Paul's, he said, when you come to a new place, you don't just speak in tongues. You align with them. And from aligning with them, you now introduce the spirit of tongues. As you come in and they are saying about all these parties, are parties wrong? No. Are they bad? No. What will you even for the first day you go? No. You align with them, there's no problem. Remember that Christmas before was Halloween, and they later changed it to Christmas because
Are you serious?
Catholics adopted with the citizens and became a citizenship, then readopted it to Christmas.
I haven't heard this before.
Yes.
Wow, I've learned something.
So now
new
you will
today.
now see that from this alignment that we are talking about, you could go with them. Then from time to time, you could now draw their attention that it's not actually
It's
all
not my
about
thing.
parties.
I think I get what you're saying.
Yes.
Don't just attack them from the
True.
beginning.
Yeah.
Like
That's
roll
the
with them
approach
a
to go.
little.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
you know that these friends actually help you. In life, we'll see that there is a need to have diverse friends. It's not every
That's
time
the
that you
point.
should have
Yeah.
that you'll be going to that one friend that always prays.
Oh,
You are always praying.
I feel attacked.
You?
No, I have to.
Wow.
I have to like cut you short. Then I feel attacked on that point because I don't know. Sorry, my friends out there.
You should. So you don't lose friendship.
Because I kind of do that thing. It's kind of like stratification. It's not a bad thing,
Yeah.
I guess. But like I have friends for different purposes. I don't know how to explain.
Wow.
It's not
bad.
It's
I feel like someone is there saying, "Oh, I'm her friend. Who knows? Like, who knows why she's keeping me?" I just feel I can
wonder
see
my
someone's
purpose.
face.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but
I-
I kind of like have to like just put you on it. I feel attacked.
I
But
don't think it's a bad
Is
thing.
it a bad thing?
Okay.
Because I feel like for certain situations, certain friends will not really, fit it. It's like in my head now, like okay, if I'm thinking of financial situation, I know who I'm going to
Oh
meet.
my
If
god.
I'm thinking of
I'm feeling bad for that person you will not go to meet.
No,
I feel like telling you to call names. I'm so
no,
sorry.
no,
for your
no,
friend.
no name, no name.
No.
So.
But I understand what
But
you're
like I feel
saying.
like I have spiritual issues. I have friends that I'm going to
Yeah.
call.
I
on.
think I get your
I
point.
have like if I have academic issues,
Of
I have
course.
the friends that I'll call.
The MIT, the name you trust in the exam hall.
The emotional.
I think it
one.
makes sense. It makes
So
sense.
I don't know. Is that a
It still goes down to communication and understanding, because there's something. Okay, in our last episode we talked about peer pressure.
true?
Okay, we talked about peer pressure and how maybe this group of your friends want to do something and you don't want to do it with them, and then you feel pressured that you're feeling left out because you're not doing it. And I thought about something. This thing you said now. Okay, you have your group of church friends, the prayer warriors, the ones that kabash. Then you have the party poopers, like the party goers. I don't know if I got that right, but the ones that are like the life of the party.
Yeah.
So now these people want to go to club and clubbing is not my thing, that kind of thing. You tell them, and they try to make you feel left out. But then you want to go to church, right? You have a group of friends to go to church with, so that's where it comes in. I feel pressure must not always be bad. You get. There's good pressure, so it all boils down to the kind of friends you
Yeah.
keep and your principles. Like, does
Very
this friend
important.
understand what I want? Does this friend understand that this is how I see this? Does this friend understand that I don't accept this? So
And it's actually very beautiful when you get to that point where you have a friend that understands what you're about.
of course,
Very,
it
very
makes life a
Yeah.
lot more
It makes
easy.
it easy. You don't have to
Yes.
explain yourself.
And again, you won't be offending someone without knowing, because I don't know that this one is beefing me since because of this thing that I've forgotten.
but sometimes
Yeah.
that beef is because she couldn't communicate it. Have you ever thought of it
Exactly,
that way?
exactly.
Yeah.
If you had
A
somehow
lot of
said it,
this would, like, I think this whole thing boils down to like one big. I think our main solution here is communicating. When it comes to
and
family,
understanding.
communicating, understanding, and manner of communication.
Yeah.
Let's not forget the manner of approach.
Manner of approach.
I mean,
Sure.
it comes to family, and you tell your dad, you tell your mom, Because I think I have had such an instance with my sister where we had a misunderstanding or falling out about my attending morning mass. Now, not because my sister doesn't like or doesn't like is not in support of it, but it was never my thing from okay. But then when I became intentional about it, I was like, it's not even every day. This parish in question just does it like the first 9 days of every month. So this is my chance, and I'm like, I must go. Okay, because the distance we stay in Port Harcourt City, and you know how the place is. So she's like, "Are you sure it's safe? By this time, this 5:30 a.m. You want to be working?" I was like, I want to do it. I feel myself I want to, and I actually told God, okay, if you're going to allow them snatch my phone, or you're going to allow them beat me on it because I'm going for money masses between you and I,
Sure.
That is conviction. Like this is what I want, and this is what I'm going to do.
Sure.
But the truth is, it's caused a misunderstanding between I and my sister because I think I did not present it well. I did not communicate well.
Let me also give you another plot twist. Could it also be that the angle with which you saw it was
understanding, right?
Like, what if you saw it as, oh, she really loved me so much that she was so bothered about my going to church. Like, oh, what if as you're going? Like, it's not like as if she said don't go to church per se. She's just saying like, on your way to church, I hope this doesn't, like, I don't know if you get it. Like, what if you look at it from the angle of, oh, this
care
is
and concern? That is actually
that's
what
another
I got
angle.
to
Like,
understand.
yeah.
That's what I got to understand. So, but my question now is, how does these expectations affect us in the society? Like, how does it affect you as an individual? How does it affect others? So, let's hear your points on that.
Okay. I feel I like to always look at the fact that expectations are quite unspoken. They're kind of like things we just feel. So I feel they affect us on different levels, depending on who it's coming from. Like, I feel like expectations that come from family or people you hold in high regard hits you more than people you don't regard.
Yeah.
No offense.
Yeah,
so I feel like it's almost what differentiates people that you say they have a thick skin, they are tough and all.
Yes.
Because the people they have in their inner circle, the people that matter to them,
understand.
like, I don't know if you heard that saying of the people that matter don't mind or something like that.
Yeah, the people that matter don't mind, and the people that mind don't matter.
So
I get that.
That's
true. That's true. Okay.
That kind of thing. So yes. So how do we? Sorry. I didn't hear.
How, like, I'm trying to like understand how these expectations affect us as an individual and how it affects the society.
Okay, I'll talk on the individual part.
Okay.
I can't speak for the society right now, but I feel it's very important, especially from friends and family, how this is. They are important in making us who we are. Because I think a few days ago I watched a father's sermon where he's talking about even how we need our friends and we need our enemies. It sounds twisted to think about that. We need both our friends and enemies. But honestly, if the good or the bad doesn't happen, how do you know your limits? I don't know if it makes sense. It's a bit twisted.
Wow.
Like if you don't have the experience of the good and the bad, how do you know what you can withstand? So I feel like the expectations make us who we are, make us discover who we are and the kind of person we want to be. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so rounding up. Okay, I just wanted to share with us, like, how do you, okay, like, these expectations now and standing on your own convictions. You know, we're talking about how to do this without affecting our relationships. We're talking about family and friends here. So, what do you have to say to our viewers? Because I'm sure there are people out there who are experiencing this kind of things. So, what do you have to say to them? Just words of advice.
How to manage these expectations. Now, there are actually various ways, but we have to just narrow it down.
Okay.
The truth is, you said expectations are unspoken words, quite true. But I used to see expectations as achievable and unachievable goals.
Okay.
Achievable and unachievable goals. Why I'm saying achievable and unachievable goals are because now there are some things that they would want you to get. There are some things that that it is compulsory for them that you must achieve this kind of a thing. Okay. And truthfully, that thing is unachievable. Okay. Now, what do you do?
That's the question, yes.
Now, the truth is, I first of all spoke about manner of approach. That's one. Secondly, be a good listener.
Ah.
Be a good listener. Don't talk always. You know, sometimes we love talking.
Everybody loves
Attack.
talking, trust me.
Yes.
Don't always attack. At least calm down and
Calm
get
down
what
and
the other
listen.
person is saying.
The truth is, when you become a good listener, you will know that there are some expectations that can put you to the right track. And when you are also a good listener, the person that is talking to you does not know your next line of action. It is still within you to do what you want to do or what you don't want to do.
Yeah.
So the truth about it is, become a good listener and learn. Take the one you want to take, then dismiss others.
Okay. So I think it all boils down to communication and understanding.
And communicating is also listening.
Yeah,
as stupid as it sounds.
Yeah.
When
They are
you
forms.
communicate properly when you listen, because it makes the person feel
Of
heard.
course, yeah, exactly.
Feel heard. A lot of
That's
people
so
don't
valid. Imagine you're talking to someone, the person is just shouting. It will lead to misunderstandings.
Obviously.
Very true.
So I think, so you out there, this is your chance. Like when next this kind of thing happens, maybe it's with a friend or with a family, calm down first and be like, okay, I get what you're saying, but
No, don't put the but.
oh,
I've seen videos that say don't put the but.
okay.
They said instead, like he said, align with them, then like kind of bring them to see your point.
So I
it's
guess the
like,
what would be you conforming, right? Like
the but is like
conforming
you're
to
attacking
that.
immediately. So imagine they come in like, oh, I get what you're saying. Oh, this party it will be nice. So yeah, and after that,
But
and
okay.
after like instead of saying but
okay.
we could just go home. But and after that we could go home and just chill. Just imagine how they'll respond when you say that.
Wow.
And
So
after
that's
like
just
the difference
one
is
word.
just one word. Like
It makes
but
no
and-
difference.
It makes every other
So it's just an
These
example
are
of
actually little things, but we don't just pay attention to
at
them.
all.
That's amazing. So I think
change
okay,
your butts
that's
and-
yeah. I guess I'll start
Obviously.
doing that. I'll be like,
Try it.
okay,
It should be a nice
it
experiment.
makes sense now. So I'll be like, I don't want to do this. So it's something to say, but I'll be like, okay, so let's try this out.
And after that,
And afterwards, you will not do my own now. So we'll do your own, we'll try your own, and then we'll do mine.
that's one way to
You
At
say
the
can,
end of the
you
day,
can take it
we get to
together.
understand it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
That's good.
so that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so now going to our viewers. So I think there are a lot of people out there that have these experiences we just shared and that would like to share it with us. So for those things, you know that, well, those expectations, you know, you've been getting from families, you've been getting from friends, and you want us to know about them. I think this is like an opportunity. You can just drop them down in the comment section. So you might find someone that will tell you something you didn't know. Because I learned a lot today from Dr. Steph and Scientist Kennedy. Like, it was a whole lot. So I would like to ask, what are the expectations that pressure someone into doing what he doesn't want to do? Like,
Particularly,
yeah, particularly the youths.
okay.
Like those expectations that make you do something you don't want to do. Like you have this conviction you don't want to do it, but then expectations from either family or friends is like they are not telling you directly, but it's like almost pressuring you into doing that which you don't want to do. So what do you do
So
in such a case?
if I'm getting you right, it's I'm trying to rephrase the unspoken. Sorry, I'm so fixated on this unspoken.
yes,
The
you could
unspoken,
use that.
beliefs they have, making you give a reaction that you don't really agree with. So I feel it all boils down to how well you know yourself,
Okay.
or how well you understand yourself and the boundaries you set. Me personally, I think people have gotten it twisted that the whole thing of rules are meant to be broken. No, rules are not meant to be broken. Rules are protective.
Yeah,
rules
very,
rules are
very
not limiting. Rules are protective. It's just I don't know how we got the whole thing twisted. That rules are meant to be broken. What's this thrill about rules are meant to be broken? No, let's look at it from a different angle. Rules are protective. So it's not easy. Theoretically speaking, yes, it sounds well put together.
But it's
But in
not
actuality,
easy.
humans, we are emotional.
It leads
and we
to a lot
react.
of things
You have to
because-
be very logical to be able to stop yourself in the heat of the
Exactly.
moment and just, it's almost like you've never smoked before and then your friends are around, they're like, oh yeah, it's cool, it makes you feel on top of
Or
the
even
world.
coming from a family that maybe you're not so well to do.
Yes.
And then there are these silent expectations,
Yes.
like you said, like
And you're
telling
seeing
you
them
to
thrive.
do that thing because they're not comparing you to your friends that is doing something, and you know you don't want to do it.
True.
But you also know that if you do this, it's for the betterment of your family. And what's like it's
I feel
it's a
like
whole
the
lot.
difference there between the people who give in to that pressure and those who don't give in are those that know themselves. They know their rules. They know what they stand by. They know what they can and they know their limits. They know their boundaries. So the person, I'm sorry for those who have issues with peer pressure out there, but I feel like the difference is I know myself. I know what I'm about. And if you're working with faith, come on, there's nothing that can stop you. Come on, we're talking about God here.
Yeah, that's
There's nothing
I
that can
think
stop
I have
you.
seen so many dimensions right now. Like you are just scaling through. 1 minute you're talking, like the next minute. I like that. I
Yeah.
think it says a whole lot. It says a whole lot because that's a way of understanding it. So it all boils down to standing firm, standing your ground. Because,
So-
like you said, you don't break the rules. Rules are meant to be kept. Rules are not meant to
They are
be
not
broken.
limiting. They are
Dear viewer, rules are not meant to be broken. Rules are meant to be kept. I like the sound. I'm writing it down. Rules are meant to be kept. I mean, when you have such a strong conviction, it doesn't matter what the person is saying. You know why you decided to do this, right? So
Yeah.
I'm sticking to it. It might be hard now, it might be rough, but I'm sticking to it. Like we'll get there, and then, like you said, when you now have faith, it makes everything beautiful. I mean, what can God not do, right?
right.
And at the end of the day, the Bible actually says in Romans 12:2, right? Do not conform.
Let's go through this journey of getting to know ourselves. I feel like
Yeah.
that's one of the primary problems. Like,
very good.
if someone gives you, I always like asking people this question. Like, if someone just puts this question out there and asks you, "Who are you?" We're so used to I am
I don't
am
know.
Dr. Osaka Ogegene.
Like,
I'm-
yeah, I
just
don't
finished
like
school. I
that
feel like
now.
but the
What
question
else
is-
do you want me to
question
say?
is, who are you? Like,
That is a
Ooh,
whole
After
lot.
the name.
like after
what
the
comes
name,
is-
the
3-word
certifications and
sentences,
everything,
but it's a whole
but
lot.
it's so deep. Like,
are you,
Who
right?
are you? I feel like more than 90% of us actually can understand or like
Who are you?
express who are you.
I don't know. I am Emanuela. Like I am Emmanuel. This is me.
Obviously.
So this
Like-
is something that has to do with a lot of going back and thinking about
Yeah.
Your
it.
level of
Like
self-awareness. That's why I like to go like
taking a
self-awareness. How
retreat
much aware
and-
are you?
wow. This is
Yes.
so.
So yeah, that's the
Then-
challenge.
Before
November
I-
challenge,
before-
everybody.
Before I conclude,
Okay.
in that part now, where because some persons can be so religious and they will not tell you, but the Bible said, obey, honor your father and your mother, and because of it's your parents that are saying this.
Okay.
You'll not be like, what would we now do? And you don't want to actually go against
I mean,
the law,
it's part of
the
the
Bible,
Ten
because you
Commandments,
say that
right?
the law should be protective and should be kept, right?
Okay,
So I'm like, so
okay,
because
nice
of
job, nice
it should
job.
be kept, I have to honor them and then I have to do that thing.
Okay.
Okay.
I have my comeback.
no,
So
Give them space, please. Let's get it. Okay.
okay, honor your father. We're talking of. I think that's the fourth commandment.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the
Father and
fourth.
mother, so that
Your days might be
it's the
long.
law. But I just have one question. In this present day and time, as Christians, where we are we following the Old Testament or the New Testament? That's another angle.
I think you just cleared
Like,
the floor
the
different
law
enough for another battle.
of Christ. Who are we following at the moment? I'm not trying to degrade. I think in is it Ephesians or one of the books of the Bible, it's not like Christ is trying to debunk the law, but when Christ came, the law had to calm
Because
down.
he said himself
Because at the
is
end of
the
the day,
law, right?
what matters is love your neighbor. So that's why I think in this aspect of being practical, when our parents, we know they love us and they care about us, but I feel what they're telling us to do at that point, I don't know if I'm practicalizing the law, what they're telling us to do at that point, if it's good, I feel that then the law applies. I don't know if I'm contradicting
I
myself.
think I get what you're saying, because what you're saying is at the end of the day, all our actions should be rooted in love for God and love for our neighbors. Because I think when that is in your head, you can do almost no wrong. I mean, when in everything you do, you're looking out for your neighbor. Like, I love my neighbor. You won't do anything to hurt the person, right?
Sure.
And then you're looking out for your love for God. You actually want to keep His commandments.
And you want
But
to
don't
obey
forget
it,
that same, I think it's that same verse that said, the same chapter, But the end of that is, it says, honor your father and your mother so your days might be long. And I think there's a continuation to it that says, and parents, you don't provoke your children to anger. So I think it goes both ways. So we are talking about the children that are going through this thing, getting the expectations. I think parents out there too should, well, learn. It all boils down
Reduce
to
the pressure.
communicating. At least if we communicate, we will not get it wrong in our heads. Communication is such a big deal, and understanding. Because you just stay and you're expecting all these of me. How do you want
feel
me
like
to
that's
laws?
a blow, sorry, to our parents. that they need to like pick it up, like from Gen Z's to our parents.
be a question? See,
the younger
you see this Gen
generation.
Z thing. Right now, me, I don't agree. I'm under Gen Z.
Me
I don't
too.
know why, but I always fight it.
Me too.
I know they'll say I'm not a millennial. I have agreed to put myself between millennials
No,
and Gen Z.
I
So I'm in between. I think there's a name for it. I will go check it out. I'm sure there's a name for it. That's where I am.
Okay.
I'm not a Gen Z because for some reason this Gen Z, that generation Z is like so twisted. We've gotten it
Okay,
so wrong,
okay.
but I don't know. But I think it's just better we stick to.
Younger
And also,
generation.
the problem is, okay, we say the Gen Z, they are so twisted, they are so extreme, and then the millennials too. People are so old. Because things are changing. I get it, you were very
Yeah.
wise in your time, but that's the point. This is not
So
your
you think
time.
that wisdom left them?
This is no. I can't say that. No.
Okay.
You were very wise in your time.
So, in this time-
emphasis on in your time.
Okay.
I mean, okay, now, like, I'm not saying that our parents are no longer wise.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying that in any way. But what I'm saying is,
There's room for
there's a lot more now. You
I
get,
feel- I feel
there's room for improvement.
I will agree with
So,
you.
Daddy, I get your point. I understand what you're saying, but there's more.
I feel I'm going to fill up that gap and say there's room for better communication.
It's still, yeah,
that's
it still boils down to
from
the
their own perspective,
communication.
the communication. And I feel
The communication.
in our
aspect
African
of it.
setting, this communication thing,
It's not easy.
it's always a one-sided thing.
See, communication problems comes in everywhere.
Every
Are you talking
single
about you and your
place.
friends, you and your parents, you and your siblings, or you want to talk about husband and wife? It happens
everywhere,
everywhere.
everywhere.
I mean, what do you mean? You see on social media where you be like, you see some kind of videos or TikTok video and like POV when okay, when I'm angry because I'm angry with my husband, but now I'm angry because he doesn't know I'm angry. That's, you got angry first though, eh? But now you're no longer angry because of what happened. You're angry because he
That he
did
does
not
not
know.
know.
How would
That
you
you
know?
are
Me, I
angry.
will tell you, it is kind of valid though, because I know I know I've been in that shoes. Like, yes, you did something to make me angry, but now that is not why I'm angry. I'm angry because you do not even realize that what you did made me angry.
So how would they know?
This all boils down to lack of communication. right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
obviously.
you are thinking things in your mind and you are expecting things in your mind, and that person has no idea. I think that's what we are talking
Yeah.
about here.
Yes. So the communication, understanding, we need
It's
to all
even-
work on that.
it's even
We need to
aids
up our games.
in I'll tag girls relationship with beefing. Girls and malice.
Malice.
Girls
Oh
and
my
malice.
God,
And
you don't
you know-
go there.
you know, people-
See, I kept malice
people
with my
always-
friend from SS2, all of SS2 to SS3.
You know, people will always
May
say
I ask
that
why?
that
We don't
girls
want to even
and
go
malice or this and this are 5 and 6. But I will tell you that girls and malice are 5 and 5.
It's alright.
There's no addition of anyone, because and now they would be like, why did you not know? You will see
Why did
somebody
you
that,
not tell me?
that would match you. Just because of, and maybe his mind was not even there, but actually he matched you, no doubt. But his mind or her mind was not actually in that
That instance, okay.
of
And
what
then they
happened
even
now.
give you something that will blow your mind even more. The person mistakenly stepped on your foot, quite alright. You'll be surprised that person who like just stepped on your foot and passed, you that got stepped on, you start thinking, oh, is it because I closed the door in her face that time? That's the assumption that we're
And
talking
that
about.
thing, and
Did
it
I
is-
assume?
Yes, that
It's because I closed the door in your face now. You want
That's
to
why
step
you
on me.
stepped on
That's
me.
why
Meanwhile,
it starts.
you don't
It will
you
now
don't
start
even know
growing.
you stepped on the person.
Meanwhile, if you guys communicated to each other,
it's just simple. Steph, you stepped on me now, and Steph might just say sorry, right?
Yes.
And you too, you feel better. See, I think it is we are just saying many things here, but it's just
Same-
one thing:
Same thing.
communication and understanding.
Yeah.
So
Manner.
to that person having expectations, communicate your expectations. Learn to talk. And you are
How
seeing the expectations people have. Communicate. Tell them that okay, I get your point, but this is what I
No
want.
buts.
And what happens
And
afterwards?
yes, I get your point. Oh, I understand what you're saying. How does I?
I'm not.
Well, all we're saying is learn to stick to what you believe in.
Yeah.
Because we all know what's good and what's wrong. So
Yes.
learn to stick to it. So though those expectations are coming, those pressures are coming from everywhere, learn to stick to what you believe in and learn to communicate and wait, calm down and understand. Communication is a two-way thing. As you're talking, let the other person talk too. I think everything can be sorted out with a little conversation. So, dear friend at home, this is it. I would say that we've talked a lot here and we're waiting to get your feedback. We want to hear your stories. We want to hear those things, those expectations you've had, how it has affected your relationship with friends and family. And also, we want your review on our podcast because we want to do better. I mean, your expectations, we want to meet them.
Yes.
Thank you.
Please make them
Until we meet
spoken.
again.
Make them
Alright,
spoken.
so we've come to the end of the show, guys. So we have a little something. So this is our booster for today. This is just a little souvenir from booster for today, and we'd like to share with our speakers present today, Dr. Stephanie, our latest doctor in town. Thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you so much. I really had fun.
I can't talk about what it's more than fun. Like I'm enlightened. I feel like, and also giving to scientist Kennedy. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank
like
you.
I think I have to go back and jot things down because
Thank
this
God for this.
meeting we are talking about.
Telling you.
We're talking about. I was in the presence of intellectuals. Like you guys dropped bombs. I'm sure that the viewer at home is like. At a point, I was like,
Wow.
did she just say that? I heard a lot of things today and I'm amazed. I'm pleased. So, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see you again. Join us same time next week. Bye.
Bye.